Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Don't Tell Mom, The Babysitter's Dead. And this new comedy is coming your way. This is from director Wade Allen Marcus, and this film is a remake of the 1991 film, and this focuses on a group of young people who are left with a babysitter for 2 months, but, babysitter winds up dead. And they have to try to figure out ways of helping themselves out, and the oldest sister of this group winds up getting a job through, not exactly the most honest of ways, gets this job and tries to keep them afloat while working at this fashion company, and while she's falling in love with this young man who's successful, and, she has to try to keep it a secret that, she's just a teenager trying to take care of her family while during this whole thing, but not telling their mom while she's away. And this particular film, for the first 15 minutes or so, is quite rocky. Everything feels very choppy. Everything seems overly manic. Some of the decisions and everything, like line readings and stuff, feel so big and uneven that it's hard to really get into this for the first 15 minutes or so. And what's crazy is it's this whole thing about, something's wrong with the babysitter, June Squibb, and everything. That's all just the first 10-15 minutes of the movie. And then the whole rest of the movie is them doing all this other stuff. And you have Simone Joy-Jones, who plays Tanya, our main character. She's the one who really has to anchor this film. All these characters, it's interesting, start very flanderized. They're obnoxious, they're one note, but as the film goes on, and these 4 kids, learn a lot along this journey, they become more well-rounded characters, and honestly, a lot easier to digest, and, there's some heart here, to be honest, and there's a bit of heart and soul to this particular film that it didn't seem like there would be that first section of the film, as this just felt like it was going to be a big, loud, unfunny mess. There's still some funny moments in those opening parts, like June Squibb's character is really outrageous and, has some moments because June Squibb's funny. But this whole film, in terms of focusing on this fashion company run by Nicole Richie, who I think does a really fine job for the role she's given. It's not big heavy lifting or anything like that. Iantha Richardson, who plays this young black woman who feels like she should be getting this promotion, and you have Tanya, who winds up getting this job, and there's some tension there. The film deals with a lot of issues that, black Americans would be experiencing versus, the original film where it's a group of young white kids. And, I think it deals with those things in a very straightforward and blunt kind of way. It's not very nuanced, but it still tackles those elements, brings them to the forefront. I think the love story is pretty by the numbers. It's not anything to write home about, but, it's solid. The two actors playing these 2 young people are charismatic enough. They have some good chemistry with each other. But I do feel like the developing heart through the last second and third act of this film, I think, gives us enough to nudge it into something that's a fun enough watch. It has enough personality and, does enough to pull you in, engage you, give you some fun, and honestly, makes you feel a little bit. This isn't particularly deep or dynamic, but it has its moments, and it has its funny moments, it has its heartwarming moments, has some rock solid character development for these young people who are all stuck home alone, and in the end, this is a solid, enjoyable little film that might be worth your time. But those are my thoughts on Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in, supporting your Wasteland reviewer.